Well, every year in Canada, approximately 100,000 abortions take place, which is the equivalent of 10 classrooms of children disappearing each day of the year. Well, that should be of concern to all Canadians. But joining us today from Lethbridge is Duane Konynenbelt, a board member of Lethbridge and District Pro-Life, as well as Elsie's House. And we also have Simone Harthoorn joining us, and she is a Coaldale Christian student, Coaldale Christian School student, and she's also the president of ARPA Club, which stands for Association for Reformed Political Action. Wow, good to have you both with us today. Welcome.
Great to be here, Jeanette.
Okay, so why don't we start by mentioning your annual Hike for Life coming up this Saturday, May 31st. Can you share some of the details as to what it is, the start time, where to meet, all the details?
Absolutely. We're very excited. May 31, this week, Saturday. It's our annual Hike for Life. We hold it from 9 a.m. in the morning till noon, and we have it at the Kiwanis Shelter, which is by Henderson Lake. It's a wonderful event. We always get well over 400 people there. We're shooting for 500 this year, and it's for pro-life supporters. We come together. Our theme this year is Let Their Little Lives Shine, but it's really a celebration of life. There's food, there's music, there's games for the kids. We're advertising it as the world's largest birthday party, right? Birthday party. And there's face painting, there's bouncy castles, there's helium balloons, there's piñata, games for the kids, lots of prizes for the adults. And then as well, it's a fundraiser. And so the people that come can just come to support us, but lots of the people donate money, and that money goes towards pro-life education, and it goes towards supporting Elsie's House, a home here in Lethbridge that supports women and families who are in crisis pregnancies. So it should be a wonderful event. Goes from 9 a.m. to noon, and if you have a few minutes or an hour to come join us, we'd love to see you at Henderson Lake.
And it is called a Hike for Life, so it's a walk. Is there a certain number of kilometers that you're looking for?
Absolutely. So the people that come usually go either 5 or 10K around the lake. They either sponsor themselves or get sponsorship to do that. But we're not forcing anybody to walk. Some people walk and do that. Other people just come for the games and entertainment. And so the idea is on either front, we're supporting pro-life, we're celebrating life, and it's just a fun day. Very family friendly. If you've got kids, you want to bring them to this event.
Okay. Well, speaking of hikes or marches, the annual National Canadian March for Life took place on May 8th. So can you give us a bit of a review on how that event went? Was there a large turnout for that?
Another wonderful turnout this year for the March for Life. Now, this is an organization that's much larger than Lethbridge Pro-Life. It works with organizations across Canada. And so these events happen, of course, in Ottawa, but in every province. We had a very large one in Edmonton. Thousands of people come out to show their solidarity for life, that they believe all people have value. There are speakers, there are banquets, there are events. It's attended by thousands. It's a wonderful event and very encouraging to everyone that's involved. What's special about it is people from all walks of life, many different backgrounds, many different faiths, even people who don't have a faith background, come together because they recognize the value of life. It's a great event.
Wow. We heard that a lot of young people turned up for that. Are we seeing an increase in young people in the pro-life movement?
Yeah, I think we are seeing an increase in youth awareness and activity in the pro-life movement. I think part of that is we live in a day and age where social justice is taught and promoted. And when young people start realizing that we do need justice for all, that all humans should have equal rights from the moment of conception until natural death, they're willing to stand for that. And so this has been very helpful to the pro-life movement, that people are willing to stand up, make their voice heard, and stand for what they believe. So it's a wonderful thing to see, but we have more and more young people involved in the pro-life movement.
And speaking of young people, we have Simone there sitting next to you. Simone, hello. Now, I understand you're the president of the ARPA Club or ARPA Club in your school. So maybe tell us what that's all about.
Yeah, so we have over 50 high school students in the ARPA club. So that's almost our entire high school. we've done lots of activism activities both in our school and in our community. At the beginning of the year, we took the ARPA Club to Newlandia for the Alberta Youth ARPA Conference. And throughout the year, we've done lots of other things. We've sent Christmas cards to MPs. We had an ARPA breakfast event. We had a apologetics night where students from our ARPA club taught our parents apologetics. We hope to help out at the Hike for Life this coming Saturday, and we've hosted a Life Day here. So
Okay, so Life Day, can you maybe share a bit about what the Life Day event was that recently took place there at your school?
yeah, so we involved our entire school, both the elementary, junior, and senior high, and all of our staff. We gave out T-shirts to our junior high and senior high students, as well as all of our staff. And our theme this year was the same as the Hike for Life, so that everyone deserves a birthday. So it was a really big celebration of life. We had a lot of birthday themed activities, face painting, balloons, musical chairs, just a lot of things that are going to be at the Hike for Life this week too.
Simone, what's been your experience like with other kids your age outside of your school?
So we're seeing a lot of ARPA clubs in other Christian schools. We're seeing them expand. We're seeing many start up, but we're also seeing a lot of youth indifference. A lot of youth are not being taught the pro life movement, and so a lot of them don't really care. They don't really have an opinion, and we're trying to combat that.
Yeah, I was going to ask, how do most teens view abortion? What's their awareness level like?
So yeah, we're seeing different opinions, especially depending on the culture that they're in. Sadly, we're seeing a trend where a lot of males feel that they are not allowed to have a voice because they are told that it is not their body, so they are not allowed to have an opinion on the pro-life movement. So that's sad to see. But we're seeing a lot of youth standing up for the pro-life movement and standing up for life.
So, what made you want to, step up and be club president?
So my mother has been involved in this kind of thing, and I've just loved the politics side of the pro-life movement, and so I've just always been interested in doing something like this.
Interesting. Okay, Dwayne, where are we at in Canada right now? Are attitudes towards abortion changing, or are they remaining the same? What are you seeing?
Well, that's a really hard question to answer. If you look at a lot of the surveys that are done recently, they'll often use questions like, do you support a woman's right to choose? Or are you in favor of taking away women's health care? Those are the types of questions that we see. And then, of course, they always get the answers that they want. But if you say to Canadians today, do you believe in sex selective abortion, that they can be done when parents want to select the sex of their unborn child? Or if you ask them if they're in favor of late term abortions, well, then we see that the majority of Canadians would clearly be in favor of that type of legislation. And so, if you want to gauge that, I guess it would depend on the question that you have. But we're certainly excited about the movement and how it's growing in young people and across age groups here in Canada.
Okay, so when you're saying most Canadians would be in favor of that legislation, you mean they'd be against the legislation that's for late term or for this
Yeah,
choosing the
most
sex?
Canadians, all the surveys show that most Canadians do not support late-term abortion, and they do not support sex-selective abortions.
Okay, interesting. What do you think are some of the major roadblocks that hinder maybe a change of hearts and minds on this issue?
Yeah, well, I think Simone touched on one big one in that a lot of our youth and a lot of even our university, college age students are never presented with a pro-life view, and they've been fairly indoctrinated in the pro-choice position. But if I had to say one thing that's a roadblock right now, even looking at our recent election here in Canada, all of the main parties, whether they are NDP, Liberal, or even Conservatives, they've all kind of gotten on the same page that if you want to put your name on the ballot, you basically have to swear on a stack of Bibles that you will never bring a bill forward and you will never make this an issue and that this is a settled matter. And then to add to that, we have the national media going across Canada policing that view. And if there's ever a candidate that's foolish enough to talk about pro-life or mention it, well, it's a national news story, and the media is calling that this person stepped down. So when you have all of your major parties taking that stand and the media controlling it, that's a major roadblock. Now, thankfully, we have other parties here in Canada that allow MPs to have freedom in speech and conscience and to represent their communities. But we also have a lot of Canadians that are engaged at a personal level and not at a national level.
It is a real personal issue for sure. No matter what side of it is on, it can be very touchy. I think that's why politicians sometimes don't want to touch it. They don't want to tell people what to do, how to live their lives, or what to do with their bodies in that sense, I think. But what can viewers do to help bring about change in this area?
Sure. Well, one of the things they can do is to combat that idea is recognizing that while abortion might be a personal or a emotional issue, it's not a morally difficult issue, right? If the unborn is human, we need to do everything in our power to protect it. And it has nothing to do with privacy. It has nothing to do with our personal autonomy. It has to do with the rights of all. If people are passionate about pro-life, and we have many, right, hundreds that are going to come out on Saturday to support us, but if there's others, certainly they could become involved with Lethbridge Pro-Life or volunteer at Elsie's House. They could support the Crisis Pregnancy Care Center. We have a wonderful organization getting going here in Lethbridge called Safe Families that, provides homes for people in difficult situations. And so there's many ways you could kind of get involved formally. But more importantly, we need pro-life people to talk to their neighbors, to talk to their friends, to talk to their families. We're not relying on the government to change the hearts of Canadians. We're not waiting for the current party to do something. We're going to change the hearts and minds of people one by one. And we'll pray that the Holy Spirit works in people, that they come to Christ and they know the value of people. And so if you can individually say that you believe that the unborn are human and that they have value, by sharing that with people, you can make a huge impact on the people that surround you in your life.
Duane, right at the top there, you mentioned Elsie's House. So, and you are very involved in that. So, can you maybe give us a little brief snapshot of what Elsie's House is, why it's worthwhile to support that project?
Sure. Elsie's House is, as I said, it's a home that women who are in crisis pregnancies can go, and they stay there during their pregnancy. They receive training on finances, on parenting. They get counseling. They get helped with their medical situations. They're helped with the personal things that they are dealing with, and we're trying to prepare these young mothers for motherhood. And so they come. It's not necessarily just subsidized housing. It provides them with these programs, and then when the baby is born, we help them with that baby. We had a wonderful news that a baby was just born this weekend to one of the ladies at Elsie's House. So just a huge blessing for us to see that. But we want to come alongside these ladies and we want to show them that there are people that love them and support them and will be there with them. There is a huge housing crisis in Lethbridge. And so a lot of times these people who face these situations have no place to go. And so we're trying to provide a place for them to be. And I should say that we've had great response to this. Pro-choice, pro-life, it doesn't matter. Everyone agrees that if they want to keep the baby, we want it to be as good as possible. So we have wonderful support from our local and provincial government. We work with all different organizations. We're all working together to make that happen. And we need your support because it's growing. There's a huge demand for this, so we're hoping to expand our footprint there and have more opportunities for more people to benefit from this program.
Yeah, what a worthwhile cause that Elsie's House is, my goodness. And like you were saying, I think people on both sides could totally get on board because a lot of those issues are the very reasons that somebody might feel that they can't bring a pregnancy to term, or they might be afraid because they don't have the money, they don't have the housing, maybe they have food insecurity, housing insecurity. So what a fantastic cause Elsie's House is. Duane, maybe remind our viewers again about the annual Hike for Life coming up this Saturday, May 31st at Henderson Park.
Sure. Well, thanks again, Jeanette, for having us on. It's wonderful to be able to share this with people. Yeah, We'd love to see you out there. An exciting event. This week, Saturday, starts at 9 a.m. That's the official kickoff, but you can come anytime between 9 and 12. Bring your kids, bring your grandchildren, bring your nieces and nephews. Come on out, support life, and participate in the world's largest birthday party.
Sounds like fun. Thank you both so much for sharing with us today. Appreciate having you both on today.
Thank you.
Duane Konynenbelt is with the Lethbridge and District Pro-Life Association, and Simone Harthoorn is the president of the Coaldale Christian School ARPA, or ARPA Club. Great to have both of them on with us today. I'm Jeanette Roche on behalf of all of us here at Bridge City News. Thanks so much for watching.